What's up, guys? Welcome back to VIP Society, a social platform that brings together the best people in nightlife, entertainment, hospitality, and the luxury space. Today, I've got Jonny Wispas here. He is the owner of Turntup Tours out here in Las Vegas, which is amazing. It's well, I'll let you give it away and tell the audience about it.
So I own a couple different companies here, but Turntup Tours is the best one. So definitely take that. But it takes people to like nightlife spots. We do some bar crawls on Fremont, mostly though focused on nightclubs, pool parties, obviously gentlemen's clubs too. That's more of a niche, but kind of really anything you want to do here, we can curate.
Nice.
We have some standard package stuff that kind of for the people who've never been here, and that's kind of where we started. And it's grown a bit into more niche or more personalized packages for some of our, I want to say higher end clients, but folks who want a more specific experience than something that's just kind of cookie cutter.
Now, where did you start? Did you you did some of your bio, and it says that you were one of the first investors into the company, and then eventually bought out the company?
Yeah, so kind of weird. This is like my second career. I was a healthcare executive, super weird, like ran hospitals, not even close to anything like this. Yeah, the business side, it taught me a ton, man. It taught me P&L, consumables, like really how to focus on margins, where the nightlife was always fun.
Yeah.
So I had a friend who had moved out here. I'm originally from Massachusetts. He had moved out here, and he saw these club tours and these club crawls, and he said, "This is a good niche when you have a reliable one." It's kind of been unfortunately, our MO where my company's tried to break out of that, and I think we have successfully. Where it's kind of these fly-by-night things, right? They weren't registered with gaming. They didn't have deals. You got to have deals with Tao. Before it used to be Hakkasan, Tao, Play Management, all those different ones. But this is a business, and the guys who do that are geniuses when it comes to it. Where a lot of the club crawls and these tours were just they were a guy on a Friday night who wanted a comp bottle, and he knew if he could bring X amount of people, he could probably get a comp.
Exactly.
I already had a job when I started it, so I really didn't want the comp. Not that I don't like going out, but I was looking at more on the business side of it. So he'd started this. I lent him a little bit of startup cash. I was well employed early in my life. I guess compared to a lot of my friends. So I had a little bit of money to invest, not all that much. But it's kind of silent partner for a long time. Fast forward a few years, he actually started weirdly a remote guarding company. So it's cameras with a central monitoring station. And he blew up.
Very different.
Oh, very different, yeah. But he's kind of like a tech nerd. Like he gets every single piece, every camera in here. He could tell you what speed it is, what it does. And I don't really know much, but. Nice. But so he started it, early investor, and then when his camera company blew up, he's like, "Hey man, listen, this is a good business." He goes, I don't have the bandwidth anymore." So at the time, my wife was pregnant, and she's at home, so obviously she's not working a ton. So she's like, "Hey, I can probably run like the marketing stuff and the side of this from the house." And I said, "Okay, cool." So I offered him a buyout. He was all about it. Kind of the niche about club crawls is we take everybody. So back up a sec. The crux of our package is 3 clubs. So whether that's day clubs or night clubs, we meet at a bar, whatever that bar is. Let's say it's Level Up Lounge in MGM, right? Everybody gets a drink ticket or some sort of deal there. That's where you check in with your hostess. Club 1 would be like Hakkasan because it's across right there. Party bus will pick you up from Hakkasan. You have party bus crews, lights, stripper pole, sound system, all that. Take you to Club 2. Club 2 might be Marquee. So now we're at Marquee. You're about there an hour and 15 minutes. Party bus picks you up, takes you to Club 3. Our third stop is usually Zouk. They take people a little bit later. So they end at Zouk, and then we leave the guests there. So they can stay till close. They can be done at midnight, kind of whatever they want to do. So you have to rent buses, and that's where I saw the opportunity in the business. Club crawl margins are great. You know what I mean? People are paying for essentially an expedited guest list. We have contracts with the clubs. We don't take the guest list payouts. So basically, but people have to get in and they have to cut the line. They don't have to cut the VIP line. They need to cut the GA line. So works great. But we would have to rent these buses because you can't sell a ticket to a party bus in Nevada. Weird law, it has to be chartered by the hour. So we would have sometimes these absurd bus rental bills, and then the bus. Maybe it showed up, maybe it didn't. I'm really worried about all these third-party providers, like being there on time, ready to go, cups, ice, water on the bus, everything's stocked. And sometimes that just doesn't happen, right? Sometimes they get a better ride, somebody books them out 12 hours, their last ride runs over. So I kind of said to my wife, why don't we just buy a bus? Which I thought would be like a super easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's not like a dealership for party buses.
Yeah.
So we end up buying one bus. We save up some money, we buy a bus, we convert it to a party bus. I take on a partner on that. So I have to start a separate business called Discrete Transportation. So we have to start a party bus business that the club crawl then rents from.
Okay.
So kind of cool too. You keep all the money in house.
Absolutely,
now.
yeah.
But I'm essentially trying to service my own tour. That was my whole goal.
I didn't know you do the party buses too.
Yeah.
Because Turntup Tours is a party bus.
Correct.
But I didn't know you do separate stuff as well.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I've got clients all the time that need.
Oh, they hit me up, man. With party buses, sprinters, Escalades, we end up getting it all.
Okay.
Unintentionally, to be honest.
Yeah. It just worked out that way.
Yeah, so we buy that bus, and my partner, he has a CDL. He knows how to drive a bus. Bro, to be frank with you, I can't turn one on. Like, people are like, how does the music work? I don't know. I can sell them. I sell the hell out of them, right? But I have no idea, like, how to drive them.
Yeah.
So I take on a partner on that business. Great dude. We're still together now. We buy this one bus. COVID happens.
Yeah.
COVID for the city was devastating in nightlife, right?
Sure.
Like everything is just closed.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 weeks was kind of this cool break, right? We still got paid a little bit. Like it was like, oh, we're going to open back up. And then 6, 8, 9, 12, 15 months.
2 years later.
Yeah, and then it's like, please open? Like, please, anybody? And then Dre's started, like, putting out snacks, and they're like, we can open because we have food. And you could get, like, Uncrustables at the table.
It was the gray area. They started working the system a little bit.
Yeah, and then it was, what's it called, Cherry Lounge at Paris. They were open air, so it was okay. Mm-hmm. Daylight started, the daylight at night because it was outside. So we come out of COVID, and we've got a couple buses now, 2 buses. We're only just doing our tours.
Nice.
Tours are still going good. City's exploding once it opened back up. We had some of our best years. Everybody's been cooped up for 2 years, right? Especially the California crowd, right? LA didn't open for 3.5 years, right? So they start coming. It's good. And then I realized pretty quickly that I'm debt averse. Like, I hate debt. I despise it. And I probably handicap myself in some areas of my business because I do everything I can to not take on any debt.
Yeah.
So when I bought buses, I would save up till I had enough cash to buy a bus. Mm. And then maybe I'd have to convert it to a party bus because there's no company that makes them.
Right.
So you have to, like, do it yourself almost.
Yeah.
So I realized coming out of COVID, most of my competitors had taken, like, large loans to buy these buses and lost them, which terrible, devastating for them. No one ever saw that coming, right? That's a curveball.
It's a big loss for them.
Huge, man. Like, huge. These whole companies went down that were monsters in the city because everything was leveraged. Yeah. We come out of COVID, and I had just taken my buses off the road. I paid $50 a month to just keep them on a non-op.
Debt-free?
Yeah, debt-free, and I just parked them, and that's what it was. And don't get me wrong, it sucked. Like, no way around it. It was not fun, but I didn't, like, really lose, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Where I watched a lot of, like, I call them competitors, but there's only so many buses in the city, there's only so many rides. So we all know each other, right? We all work together. Like, same with tables, right? Like, if your guy's going to a non-Tao group venue, you'll send it to a dude you know over there, and he'll send you back the next one. We're always trading, right?
Yep.
Like, we're a small town. When you talk to people who live here, we're a small town, right?
Yeah.
So we come out, and COVID, like, all of a sudden, I'm the biggest bus company in town, and I had no idea that was coming, right? Like, I'm wildly unprepared for that. But it was kind of cool. So, I mean, the bus business just exploded, man. Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of competition for what you're doing?
Not so much anymore. Another, I would say, double-edged sword is insurance.
I don't think a lot of people know this. I don't really talk about it, but maybe 10, 15 years ago, I did road crawl. So I'm familiar.
It's one of the old school ones, world crawl. Yeah.
I'm familiar with the industry, the business.
Yep.
I wasn't there too long. It was in between jobs because back at that time I was doing seasonal jobs.
Gotcha.
Working at the pool for the summer.
Yep.
Then had to find something in between.
Tours are constant. That's the one thing,
Yeah.
too. Sometimes, like, the promotions managers are not about tours, and I'm like, bro, I come we were on Tuesday to Sunday every night.
Yeah.
So I got it. Maybe not, like, exactly what you're looking for, but on a Wednesday night when I show up with a bus of 40 people and you got nobody, this is a win for everybody.
Absolutely.
The tours they're just never going to die.
So who pretty much helps you with the business side? Your wife?
So my wife, we kind of backed off that. The one kid turned into 4 kids.
Okay.
So I have 4 daughters, so that keeps the house pretty active. She still helps with the management of the hostesses. You know what I mean? It's you imagine the ladies we hire to be hostesses, right?
Yeah.
Usually it's a fun job. It's seasonal.
I know some of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said. they come in and out. They're here for a couple months, then they get a full-time gig, or pool auditions happen. We lose a few, you know what I mean? They, it's cool. It's what it is.
Normal.
Yeah. So she kind of manages that part of it. She's a whiz with marketing. You know what I mean? When it comes to the flyers and the Canva and making all that stuff.
Nice.
I would say about a year ago, we're looking for like a real ops manager, like a real ops director, like a guy who, I mean, he's going to be in the trenches, knows it in and out.
Yeah.
So I'm on LinkedIn, I'm looking for somebody, right? And I'm kind of like, man, like they got to be able to understand nightlife, right? But they also got to understand that like the profit margins on the buses, and then they got to understand some of the law. So I find this, I don't want to call him a kid because he's probably 28, right? He's not a kid, he's younger than me. So, he is running charter operations for Breeze Airways private jets.
Nice.
He's originally from Vegas, engaged to be married, but he's stationed in their like Salt Lake City outpost, and he's trying to come back. Yeah. And I'm like, hey man, like this isn't airplanes. Like it's not that serious, right? Like it's a fun job. So I mean, we run party buses and nightclub tours. Yeah. Like it's still fun, even when you have a rough day. It's still not a bad thing.
Not at all.
Yeah. Everybody's here. Like people came here.
People love it. I mean, when you guys come to Marquee, they're ready. Good sized groups, and they're all having a great time, and they do cut a lot of the lines and stuff.
That's the key to the club crawl. I tell people that all the time. I don't do a ton of the sales anymore, but I'll cover the phones if we have a call out or something. And that's what I always tell people. I'm like, hey, listen, take out whoever the DJ is, take out all this. It's $100 a person, right? $99 a person. I said, you're paying $99 to skip 3 lines. I said, on Sunday night, we do Omnia with the Latin night. I said, sometimes that line is literally out the casino.
You can't beat that deal.
Yeah, I'll pay anything to not wait in line, literally.
3 different nightclubs, and those clubs usually include drinks.
Correct, yeah. There's always something different. Yeah. I try not to like promise anything, because some nights it's buy one, get one. Some nights it's an open bar wristband. Right. Some nights all the ladies get free drinks and the guys get half off. It varies, but there is some deal.
You're definitely hooking them up.
Yeah.
And they get not only those benefits, but they're getting a tour guide.
100. Right. Because people who don't live here too, you don't understand how big a casino is.
Yeah.
You don't understand when you get dropped off. If you get dropped off at the wrong end of MGM Grand and you're trying to find Haksan, bro, that might be a 30-minute mission, right? Like,
it will, yeah.
So having somebody who just takes you right there, and then too, like I said, growing up in Massachusetts, like we don't really have clubs. We have a couple here and there, but you go to bars, right? So I grew up going to local bars, like I don't want to say dive bars, but like, but bars. Yeah. So when you get to Vegas, and you don't know how to do a nightclub or you don't know how to do a day club, it's an intimidating thing, especially like when you're 21 years old, right? You want to do something. Maybe you don't have 10 grand, maybe you don't have 5 grand for a table, right? And you walk up and you have every promotions guy who's dressed well. They know what they're doing. They know the game. They know who's going where, who's going what. Like, it's an intimidating experience for like a younger person, or even, I don't say younger, but somebody who's never done it before. Right? You land here and you walk in. Some of these people come from towns that are smaller than, you know what I mean, the Venetian.
Which is where the value of a tour comes in.
100%.
Because you're showing them the entire experience,
100%.
multiple locations. And the tour guide.
And if you don't like house music, right? Like, cool, we're leaving in an hour and 15 minutes. Like, cool, this is not your vibe, right? Not your DJ. Cool, got it. We're moving on.
Now, if the guests want to stay at that club, can they stay at that club?
So, that's a huge benefit to a lot of people do late dinners here, especially compared to other parts of the country. So the later dinners, a lot of times people join us at stop 2.
Okay.
Because they want to come later, or they get to stop 2 and they're like, hey, listen, I'm cool, or this is the DJ I'm looking for, right? Or this is who I came to see, and all good.
So there's flexibility.
Yep, on and off. They also too get their stamps at the venue. So let's say they get to Club 3 and they decide, hey, Club 1 was better, in my opinion. Their transportation's on their own, but you can jump in Uber and get back, and you don't even have to go back in the guest list line, not the GA line. Walk right up the front, show the stamp, and you're back in.
Yep. I really don't know any competition out there that compares to what you guys do and how you guys do it. I've heard a lot of great things,
I appreciate that,
so I'm happy to have you on this podcast.
We bought a couple competitors too. Same thing out of COVID.
They did, which is why there's less.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to buy them all.
That explains it.
If it was up to me, I'd own every one of them and just run them under different brands. Nice. But yeah, we're the only one that does 3 clubs and 2 bus rides. So most of them do 2 clubs and 1 ride. Because really the expense is the bus rental, which on our end, starting the bus company, I mean, it's still an expense from that company, but it's going into another company we own. It's kind of been the philosophy, like just keep the money.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we've got Turntup Tours that does the touring, and then the party bus company itself. Those are for like pickups and drop-offs.
That can be anything, right? Quinceañeras, weddings, birthdays. We have one of our biggest contracts is the company that does all the production for the Sphere, any of the musical acts. So they sell these ticket packages that it's like, let's say the Eagles was this weekend. You get your ticket to the Eagles, usually like a gondola ride, 2 nights at the Venetian, and transportation to and from the airport. Okay. So we are contracted to provide that transportation. Nice. And then obviously they're trying to make it... it's like a party package. The same company that owns EDC. It's Insomniac through Live Nation and that. So they don't just want like a shuttle bus, right? So they curated videos, you know what I mean, decor. We deck out the buses and whatever band that weekend is playing, or DJ. We did Millennium 2 weeks ago too. So we've done that for a couple years too, which that turned into a pretty good thing for us.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you've got contracts with all of the venues.
Yes, sir.
Are you committed? Like, do you have to show up to a specific venue a certain amount of times monthly?
No.
Is there any something?
So there's not a commitment. Obviously, we work with either Johnny Sedare or Neil or somebody, the higher up guys there, and they give us basically like, hey, this is what's open this week. So obviously, we try to work with them too. That hey, you know what I mean. Jules, for example, is a little soft tonight. Can you help us? Perfect. I'll direct everything to Jewel, right?
Yep.
Or I'll tell them too and be like, hey, I'm getting a ton of requests for Aoki at Omnia on Thursday. Cool, we got you.
Nice.
So it's a business, but it's still relationship based. Like,
absolutely.
It's still.
So you can change up the tours anytime.
Yep.
That's cool.
We try to commit usually by Tuesday to all the venues.
Yeah.
Obviously, we sell more tickets. It's a sales-based business, so we sell more tickets, we add more venues, we add more tours.
Now, I'm thinking just nightclubs, but you also do day clubs?
Yes. So day clubs run usually about noon, and then we get to the last venue about 3, so they can stay there all day. But we same thing. It's the exact same program, the 3 clubs, 2 bus rides, and again, we work with the same group, but basically I send in my day club requests and my nightclub requests on Tuesdays, and then go from there. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, to back it up a little bit, you're from Massachusetts.
Yes.
What brought you to Vegas?
So this is my second time here. I wish I didn't leave, I guess, the first time.
Yeah. I've left a few times.
Yeah, right. And it always brings you back, man. Like, it don't matter. You get somewhere and you think it's great. And you're like, yeah, but everything closes here.
You can't beat it. I mean,
right.
For the prices, affordability,
state tax on income. It's
the weather for the most part. You know, it's a city that doesn't sleep. So,
first time I came here, I worked for PlayStation. Another weird career transition. I did all their safety and security. So I would fly around all their sites, make sure cameras, card readers, kind of policies, procedures, OSHA compliance, that kind of stuff. Very cool job because nobody's really trying to break into PlayStation, right? So I'm just flying around all these game design studios. It was pretty cool. Yeah. But they would have a ton of conferences here. So I'd end up out here 2-3 months at a time. So at one point, they finally just said, hey, listen, we'll pay for you to get an apartment. Rent something, stay here, you're going to be here. Nice. So
that was an important career.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was a huge part of my career. Also, too, I'd only been here as a tourist or for work, right? So I'd go to a convention floor, I'd be on the convention floor doing something for 12 hours, 15 hours. Yeah. I still want to go out a little bit, but still, you're gassed, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just being up on your feet all that time.
Right.
So they said, hey, where do you want to live? And I'm like, shit, Panorama. Everybody wants to, you're going to pay for it? It's attached, you know what I mean?
I'm thinking about moving there myself.
It was great, man. It was, I'm going right there.
Well, this is before all the kids.
This is before all the kids, yeah. So not married, single guy, no kids. This is a Panorama for me.
Yeah, look it up, guys.
Exactly, yeah. Hey, if you are thinking of moving to Vegas, a very important topic, and you are a young single guy, you want to be in Panorama or Dean Martin right next door.
Yeah, if you're listening, Panorama is a high-rise building that lives pretty much right on the strip.
Right there,
That's built right there on the strip.
There. They have a house car that'll bring you anywhere on the strip you want to go.
A lot of industry people live 100%. In that building and stuff like that. Yeah. So
I made a lot of good connections there too. You know what I mean? A lot of industry people who I started meeting the people who weren't seasonal, right? The guys who this is their career. Yeah. And that was kind of the change where it was all my buddies, they would do some hosting here, they do some hosting there, and then they'd move on to something else. But I started meeting people who hey, nightclubs this is a real business.
Executives, right? And stuff.
Exactly.
A lot of big people live in that building.
It's not just fun anymore, right? It's hey, this was really cool when I could buy a car with it, but now we're talking about buying houses and mortgages and kind of changing my outlook on what this could be. Mm-hmm. So I end up Panorama for a while. I get an opportunity I'm still doing the healthcare thing kind of. So I get an opportunity to take a job in Los Angeles. It was a substantial amount of money, which I thought was a substantial amount of money. So I got to Los Angeles. I was oh, this is just
not enough.
Yeah, middle class again. Lower middle class. Yeah, hopefully.
I've got kids now, guys.
Right, exactly. So I get to LA. I did that for a while, and then again, right before COVID and everything. I just like LA's shut down. There's nothing to do. I'm paying an absurd amount for, again, I'm living in a high rise.
I was out there at that time too.
Yeah, I'm living downtown. I'm on the 45th floor of a brand new building. It's so cool being outside, seeing the whole city. And I'm paying like $5,000 a month for it was 600 square feet. It was a room basically, right?
Yeah.
And I go out on my balcony one day and I vividly remember being like, holy shit, it's dead silent out here. Like I can hear air conditioning and that's it. And the whole reason I'm living in like the heart of LA, paying all this money is like, I want to be in the mix.
Right.
There's no mix anymore.
Yeah. That was a tough time.
Yeah, it was that. So at that point then, also got serious with who was my girlfriend at the time. Now I'm like, we should probably get married. We should probably, I'm getting a little bit older. It's, this lifestyle is fast and I need to slow. So we came out here, lived here in Summerlin for about a year or so, rented a place while we were looking for a house.
I like Summerlin.
Yep. Summerlin's great. It's, there's something to do all the time. It's always nice out. It's clean. There's nothing to about LA. Like, not trying to bash it. I still go back all the time.
Normal living.
Yeah, like LA's not real. Like, I'm living in, like you said, a one room for an absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
I'm going outside and there's
only
tents everywhere.
$2,500 for a small 600 foot room.
It's wild, man. And then I get here and I'm like, I can buy a house like in a country club, like for the same as I'm paying for rent, like 5 bedrooms. Like is this a joke?
This is great.
I thought it was some sort of scam. Like I have a pool, like my own. I'm not sharing it. Yeah, like.
And from my experience and from what am noticing, a lot of people are coming out here from LA.
Yeah.
I mean, I did.
Yep.
I was out there about the same time as you.
Okay.
Around the same time. I went to college in LA.
Okay.
Worked as a talent agent for about 7 years.
Nice.
And then eventually got into real estate, and so I came back to Vegas.
Yep.
So now I'm doing real estate and everything else.
What's the other thing too? You look at like I own a couple rentals here, nothing major, just some single families.
Yeah.
But that's not a real thing in LA. Like the concept that I'm going to go buy, a $300,000 or $400,000 home and rent it out.
Yeah.
That's not real in LA. You know what I mean? Like I said, the best I ever did in LA was at a townhouse in Glendora, which is a very nice town. I'm not knocking it. If you're moving to LA and you got kids and a family, Glendora is the place to be. It's clean. It's well kept. It's not overcrowded.
I do it.
But
I do
I'm in
like
a
it.
townhouse.
Yeah.
For $750,000. Like, I'm sharing walls still. Like, this isn't where I thought I was going, right? Like, I'm owning businesses and I think I'm doing something. I'm not going to get ahead.
It's true.
Never happened.
I've seen it too many times where people that are making amazing a lot of money, still struggling out there, living paycheck to paycheck, and like.
Or I'm in Glendora and I'm working in Compton, so it's an hour and 20 minutes each way in. It's like this isn't the lifestyle I wanted.
Not at all. Yeah.
So that was like, okay, hey, let's make Vegas real. You know what I mean? Let's make Vegas real for a bit. We'll kind of figure out. We'll rent one place for a year, which we did, and then settled in on Henderson.
Okay.
So
L.A. to Vegas, and then you moved into. This is
so Massachusetts grew up, right? I was in the Army for a couple years.
Okay.
That was kind of a weird.
I didn't ask that, but I almost could have called you out on that because I'm also a veteran.
Oh, nice, congrats, thank you.
Yeah. But I was like, the tattoos, all right.
It kind of happens.
Yeah. It has to be. He's got to be military guy.
And I thought I was gonna join the Army and see the world and do all that. And I went to Kansas for 4 years. And not knocking Kansas, it's a cool place, but it was not the military I wanted, right? I wanted the Japan, Korea.
Should join the Navy.
Yeah. So I went to the Navy recruiter, right? This is how I started, right? So where I grew up, all the service branch recruiters, one building.
Yeah.
So I walk into my best friend just comes back from the Marines.
Yeah.
And of course he's fit. He's got the blue uniform, right? I'm a disaster. 19 years old, right? I can't keep a job. I can't keep. I'm getting arrested here and there. It's not a great lifestyle. Yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna take you down to the recruiter. I get to the recruiter and the Marine guy tells me, well, you're a Marine first, and then we'll pick what your job's gonna be. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah. He's like, yeah. So you're a Marine first, and then we'll kind of see.
I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, and I'm like, Marine first, and then we'll kind of go with the top needs are. And I was like, oh my goodness. So then the Navy guy is like, hey, you come over here. They're all in the same room, basically, right? The Army's in one room, the Navy and Marines are in the same room.
You want to travel the world? Join the Navy.
Yeah. So the Navy guy, and I said, well, hey, I want to be on a submarine. The guy's like, you're 6'5". And I'm like, yeah, that's no big deal. Yeah. Not having any concept at 19 what, living in a tin can underwater for 6 months with 120 dudes who are all, under 5'8". I was like, nope, no.
That's funny.
He said no. So I'm leaving. I'm kind of like, man, service isn't for me. And the Army guy's like, hey, bro, come here. You can leave on Monday if you want. Yeah. I got these jobs. We can just go right now. And I was like, all right, go. Signed up and went. And it was Kansas. So not what I looked for. I took a job out of the Army. Went to Arizona for 3 years, Oklahoma for a year, Mississippi for like 7 months.
So you've been around.
Yeah, bounced, and then Vegas, California, now Vegas.
Okay.
But I'll never leave here, man. It's
Yeah, it's great.
you get your fill everywhere else, like I said, and you just
You,
can't.
you work on the strip, then you live off the strip.
100%.
So that way you have that stability, that normal life balance.
Yep. People ask all the time, like, "Oh, you're out all the time," or even my old friends from home, like, "Oh, it must be crazy living out there." I'm like, "No, man, I'm gonna go fly a kite literally with my daughter tomorrow." Like that's like, "Oh, you're at Wet Republic?" I'm like, "No, that's been closed for 2 years now." Yeah, so, no, I'm gonna fly a kite. This one's gonna ride a bike. Like we're gonna walk the dog and then swim in my pool with just me and my family.
Yeah, I'm still that single bachelor guy, so I'm living on the strip now.
Nice.
Over at Turnberry and
mandatory.
Yeah.
Well experienced with Turnberry as well. Also a great place to be.
But I might move to Panorama this coming year.
It's the loop, right? Just stay out of Veer.
Yeah.
As long as you stay out of Veer Towers, that's two in the middle.
Yeah, because I work at Cosmo.
Okay.
As a host for Marquee. Marquee. So it's right there across
Veer
the street.
would be too close.
Yeah.
Veer would be too close. You'd be in the mix.
It'd be great, but I don't know. Not too good for my dogs.
No, no. That's what kind of drew me to Henderson, right? It's a little bit older, it's a little bit more established, but like the schools are good for the kids too. But but like I have a yard, like you know, and it's not L.A. I had like this table was like my yard in L.A. Right? And they'd be like, you can put 2 chairs, and I was like, oh, super. Like so, my wife and me and no one else. Like it's
So what you're doing now is very different from where you started.
Very
right?
different.
And you just had the idea of getting into this because of the people that you met, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And they were making money. You were already in Vegas.
Yep.
And you had an opportunity to take it, and you bought it out from them.
100%.
Or you invested first.
Invested first, right. And then I kind of realized, like, I've had good partners and bad partners. The guy in the club crawl was good. The current partner I have now is good, too. But you never realize, like, how good a partner is until you have a bad one, right? Like, my current partner right now, I could go run the credit card for $100,000, right? And he wouldn't, I would say, we need this and this. And he'd be like, okay.
He trusts you.
Yep. It's, there's something like that. And don't get me wrong, me and him fight, like, more than me and my wife have ever fought, right? Like, we get in, but there's always this sentiment, like, the work has to be done.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what your opinion is.
He can rely on you.
My opinion, right, wrong.
And you can rely on him.
100%. I'm going to show up. You know I'm going to be there. You know, and I know he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Like I said, if we have a driver call out, he's going to get in his car and go down and get the bus and go do the ride. You know what I mean? Because there is no option. When it's your business, like nobody's coming to save you. Like, you know, and it's people always think like, oh, there's this plan B or there's this backup. There's no backup. It's you.
Yeah. What's one of the companies that you bought out?
So Vegas Rockstar VIP was one, and then we bought Night Out, and I'm working on another one.
I remember Vegas Rockstar.
Vegas Rockstar, yeah. They had, I've always kind of looked at a business and found like, so Vegas Rockstar had a bunch of issues. Like there was some debt to it, some defaulted loans and certain things. But they had these passes for these leisure passes that really touched Europe. They're huge in Europe, not so big over here, but they're huge in Europe. And I knew if I bought the company, I'd get that contract. And I started looking. I'm looking at the way the guy's managing it. And I mean, hey, maybe what he did worked for him for many years.
What do you mean by passes?
But so they have these kind of all-inclusive, right? Like let's say you buy it's called like a city pass. So you buy the city pass for Las Vegas. There's 50 things on that city pass. Now, if you buy the pass that's unlimited, you can do all 50 things.
Nice.
Once you've bought the pass, you have the pass, you scan it.
Yeah.
The company pays me out net 30.
Yeah.
So essentially, there's no marketing, there's no customer acquisition. They literally just send you people.
Okay.
Now, they take a healthy cut.
So
they got to make money too.
They had a huge European market.
Huge.
Awesome.
Which, I mean, we had some. But
Now you have
Now I have the huge European market. Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
So I always kind of look at all these competitors. There's good and there's bad in everything, but you got to take. There's something you can find from everyone. I think of that with people too. Like, this might sound weird, but like I feel like throughout your life you collect people. Yeah. Right. Like this person is going to stay in my circle because, hey, I might not like how he does this or this lifestyle or that, but there's something there. There's something there that benefits me, and there's something there that I have that benefits him. So I always feel like. Sometimes my barometer on people is off, or I think there's good in everyone, and then I kind of like, that guy was screwing me. Like, yeah. But there's always like, there's a way to collect that good in people and keep your network, build your network. If I had never, like I said, if I never invested in a tour company, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be a healthcare executive somewhere, right? I'd be in a suit with a tie on and worried about length of stay for patients and radiology turnaround times, right? Which is, like you said, night and day from where we are now.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're trying to come out here and start a party bus company, don't even think about it.
No, it's over.
Unless you're coming in big.
Yeah.
Johnny's going to buy you out.
That's the plan, man. One of my biggest probably hurdles as well as benefits is the insurance on the buses is absurd.
Yeah.
There's only a couple companies that do it. There's no real market with competitors. So they tell you what it is. There's no shopping. It's what it is.
Are there any risks with this since you have guest clients that you're touring around?
Yep. Yep.
Do you have any sort of liability?
So yes, knock on wood, we've never had like a real massive incident or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, there's fender benders all the time. And I would probably tell you 90% of those fender benders is someone who goes to a personal injury attorney and says like, my back hurts. And then within a month it's dismissed because there's nothing there.
Yeah, they sign waivers and stuff though,
100%.
right?
Everybody signs a waiver. I mean, it's on you also too. All the buses have seatbelts, whether you choose to wear them or not is up to you. But everything has a seatbelt. Everybody has to be obviously 21 plus because we are going to nightclubs and day clubs. But there's some level too where we're not flying, we're not going fast, right? Like if anybody's ever been on the Las Vegas Strip on a Friday night,
2 miles an hour.
Oh, it's a turtle slow. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, so do you cruise up and down the Strip? I'm like, no, man. Sometimes it takes us 35 minutes to get from, you know what I mean, MGM to Cosmo, and it's almost across the street.
There's no cruising around.
No, yeah. You can see out the window because we stopped, and you'll see the fountains, all the lights and stuff.
That's a great time.
But yeah.
So what exactly does your party bus provide? Do you guys provide drinks, food, stuff like that?
So you can kind of get whatever you want. We always provide cups, ice, and bottled water included.
That's all included.
That's all included. Nice. And then you can kind of bring whatever else you want. We'll provide mixers too, any juices, anything like that. Cool. And then people will send in a shopping list. Essentially, like we don't resell liquor or something like that. But if you say, hey, I want this much, we charge you just whatever it costs us at the store.
Yeah.
It's more of like
that's fair.
A shopper fee, right?
Yeah, convenience fee.
Yeah.
Cool.
But we do have some food on the buses once in a while. I would say most of the time it's like weddings or we do a lot out like at Red Rock or Nelson's Ghost Town. So that's a whole day, right?
What's your biggest demographic? Like, do you have a lot of people that are getting married, like weddings? Do you have mostly?
It's very seasonal. So you think out here like March, April, and then October, weddings every day, all day, every day, because it's still comfortable, right? You can be in a suit and it not be 112.
But they want that Vegas experience.
100%. And then people always too, like, I mean, the Vegas experience is great and I love the Strip and it's drawn me here every single time, but there's so much more too, right? Where people don't like, the old mining towns are a backdrop for super cool weddings I've seen, right? Red Rock Canyon National Park out there. You have Black Rock Canyon, Henderson. We take a lot of people. Golf too.
Oh yeah?
You know,
so you go outside of Vegas as well?
Oh yeah. Anything kind of within Nevada. We stay within the state. But golf, I'm not a golfer personally, but the amount of golf courses out here, I mean, I think I find a new one, I think, every month where someone's like, hey, can you bring my group out to, Paiute, up 45 minutes up here north? And it's a pretty convenient way to get, if you got a group of 10, 12 guys and you all got clubs and you all got luggage and you're going golfing, there's really no cheap. You're going to get 6 Ubers, 7 Ubers.
Yeah, that's a great deal. It's a great offer. Great setup.
And then the airport shuttles are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
That's worked out.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I didn't really know that you guys do stuff like that as well. Yeah. That would make sense. You have a party bus, and if golfers want to just go party on the way to the golf course, you'll provide
rent by the hour, so it doesn't really matter. We've had people rent the buses for music videos and actually don't ever drive anywhere. We just park in a parking lot, and they do the music video. Whatever you want to do, like it's by the hour, whether you drive 1 mile or 100 miles, doesn't matter.
What's a crazy experience that you've gone through?
I think I think that one of the craziest things is almost like a shock where like we had an extremely wealthy person, I'll leave unnamed, who had signed a massive football deal, like probably more money than I'll ever see in my life. He had some sushi that didn't agree with him, so he slept on the back of the bus for 7.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
And was shocked he had to pay for it.
What?
Absolutely shocked.
Yeah, what happens?
He just wanted to lay, he wanted to sleep, and all these
he didn't want to get off.
Higher profile people have like a handler who just says, hey, listen, you have an account with us, like, don't bother the client, which is cool. That's our business. Like we want to be background.
But they've got to pay for it.
But you have to pay for it. It's an hourly rental. Yeah. Whether we drive. If you want to use it as a hotel and just sleep back there, totally.
He got sick and his team was saying leave him alone?
Leave him alone. Leave him back there. All of a sudden, he's back there almost 7 hours by the time dinner and all that. And then he got the bill, and he was not.
So you'll accommodate, but
buddy, we'll do whatever you want to do. But I mean, it's also it's a flat rate, right? Yeah. So it's not like there's no upcharge whether you're a millionaire, a billionaire, or you scraped every dollar together with 5 of your bros and you rented it. It's a big bus is $360 an hour, no matter who you are, where you're going, whatever you're doing, it's $360 an hour.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, it's interesting.
I've met some of the girls that work for you as host. Do you also have guys as host?
Not currently. We have in the past.
Yeah.
Not opposed to it.
Women are better.
Yeah, always. It's always. Everybody wants the all-female host team.
That makes sense.
We found it works pretty well because obviously, too, sometimes people have a bit too much to drink, and sometimes maybe cross a line or two that we want to end that immediately. So we found it works really well when we have like a hostess, and then we have every bus has 2 staff members plus the driver.
Okay.
Driver's focus on driving. We don't want him doing anything beside driving, or him or her. We have female drivers too, obviously, but. We found it works really well with like a male assistant and a female host. Very similar to the nightclub setup, right? Like you want your cocktail server to not be me. You know what I mean? You want me to be your busboy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You want me to run ice buckets.
All the hosts at the front door, men for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
But the girls, once you get inside, it's all girls.
Yep, that's kind of how we've structured it too.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've had male hosts before. We're kind of open to anybody. It's more personality, right? Because you gotta control this group.
In the end, you're gonna make more money with the girls, though.
All day, all day. And also too, obviously it's a gratuity based business. They're obviously paid a salary, but also too, tips are part of the game. The girls are always gonna get more tips than
For sure.
than us. Yeah.
So they go home happier.
Yeah, 100%.
Have you always been an entrepreneur?
No, to be honest, I never thought I was going.
And now you're doing this full time, right?
Yeah, never thought. It's also spiraled into like now I own a diesel shop. Now I built a warehouse. I have a real estate investment trust to basically manage the property.
So you own properties and everything. So
into
now you're
now I'm full on
entrepreneur. Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, it was never like. Again, I had a healthcare executive job, which is outside of being a business owner, that's a top paying career in America.
Yeah.
I made excellent money. My bonuses were good. My benefits were good. Like I said, I got promoted into that pretty young. Moving around the country helped. When you're willing to take the job in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi, that no one else is willing to take, and you take it for a year, that your promotional prospects go up.
And now you're the perfect example of being your own boss, or instead of having to work a 9 to 5 for somebody else.
Yep.
And you'd rather work 24/7, right?
100%.
Being your own
100%. All day, every day.
Yeah.
And I just think there becomes like I don't know if it's a control thing or it's someone kind of dictating where you go, right? Like where I kept my healthcare job for a while too because I didn't want to take any money out of the businesses. That was my biggest that was my cardinal sin, right? Like we don't take money out of the businesses. We reinvest until we're somewhere comfortable. And luckily, my partner on the bus side has been 100%.
Is that the focus now?
I would say that is probably going to change here in the next 6 months. Our biggest hurdle was there's not a lot of places to store a 40-foot bus that's 14 feet tall. You got to store them inside. The sun out here destroys the paint. And if you start outside at 112 degrees, no matter how many air conditioning units you put in, you're never cooling it down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we were renting all these bays. They're like, think of like a condo garage. Very wealthy people there have like McLarens in there, like absurd car collections. Beautiful, beautiful vehicles.
They pay big money.
But I'm renting the bay next to them and I'm running a party bus out of there. Not really thrilled about that. So kind of the goal was.
Well, if you need any more commercial spaces.
So I just bought some land. We're about 8 months too late, but I'll be up for another one soon. Cool. So I wanted to buy a warehouse, right? So I started looking around the strip, and I'm like, I don't have any money for that. So about 15 minutes north of Resorts Road, we bought a piece of land, which it's kind of been my MO with every business. Like I think I'll just buy this and run it. And then you realize, like, there's a whole lot more to it than that.
Absolutely.
So I buy a piece of dirt, I'm going to build a warehouse. Nice. Well, my gravel's not bad. I don't pass an environmental inspection. I didn't know these things existed, right?
Long term, it's better financially, right?
100%.
Building from the ground up?
100%. So that's what we ended up doing. So we bought the land. That took about another year in architectural, and we've been in construction about 14 months. I should be finished next month.
Nice.
So then, like, now we have a building. The buses are stored there.
Awesome.
I don't catch hell from a landlord anymore, right? Like, my mortgage is now paying myself.
That's great.
What I paid for the land was 3 years ago, so it's obviously appreciated. I'm about to get a certificate of occupancy to move in the building next month, and I've already had, like, the property management company ask if they can list it for sale.
You're a smart guy for an Army dude.
I know. I tell you, man. It was a curveball, bro. It was a curveball. It would have never thought. I had a comfortable job that, I got paid and I think that was amazing to start the business, but also very hard to leave too, right? Because when you have a salary that most people never get to in their life, and you're like, I'm just gonna give this up to do party buses and nightclub tours. People are like, what are you talking about? like that's not a real thing. Yeah, and I'm like, I swear it's a real business, man. I swear, trust me, man, it's a real business. But it's kind of spiraled that like the tours. They kicked off a bunch of cash. That cash had to fund the bus company. Once the bus company kicked off enough cash, that had to fund buying the land and building our own building. That will probably not kick off cash until we sell it or either divest it into something else. Probably do a 1031 into something closer down this way. But once the bus company was kicked off enough cash, now I start looking at my bills. My biggest bill is repairs.
Yeah.
I can't turn a wrench. I have absolutely no idea how to fix a bus. Never mind drive it. I can't fix it either. So now it's like, okay, hey, there's this shop that was abandoned a couple years ago right across from Orleans on Tropicana.
Yeah.
Why don't we rent it and open a diesel shop?
Yeah.
Again, that would be super easy, right? Like I can't fix nothing, but I'm sure I can run a diesel shop. So that kicked off enough cash to open that up, and that was kind of everything needs to build off something, right? Because the idea of like
That's the game.
yeah, 100%. I see people too, and I saw it with my party bus competitors, right? They made great money, money.
Yeah.
You're talking about guys who ran these back like in 08, 09, where you could buy a house here for $50,000.
Yeah.
Like $50,000. How did you? I don't want to offend anybody who's been here long term. I don't want to, go against it. But I meet guys who have been in Vegas who were adults in the 90s and early 2000s. I'm like, how are you not absurdly wealthy? Like how?
They didn't play their cards right.
No, you spent every dollar you made. Like everything didn't go into some business that was going to kick off more cash.
Yeah.
It was never a build, right? We're like, can you imagine if you could still buy a house for $50,000? Like, I don't 100. You know what I mean?
Well,
like I'd buy the whole block.
In some areas you can, just not in Vegas.
Fair, yes, fair. Yeah. But that's serious. No state tax here. You know what I mean? The salaries have always been okay here. They're not. I mean, you're not going to make LA money, but you're not going to make like absurdly bad money either, right? Like I worked in the Mississippis, the Alabamas, where people make like $7 an hour, and that's like and they support a family on it, right? Where like they never had that here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The tips too, on top of like the dealers and stuff.
In San Antonio, where I've got some houses, I walked the Riverwalk, spoke to some industry people on the like bartenders and stuff on the Riverwalk, and they're making $2 an hour.
Yeah,
and then they get to keep their tips.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Massachusetts, $2.13 an hour for a server.
Crazy.
$2.13 an hour, and you get to keep your tips. And I was like, what?
Crazy.
And here you have, protect. It's you get. Some of the cocktail waitresses out here, like they make a fortune. You work at a
Thousands a night.
top club. You work at a top club, and you got guys with $50,000-$60,000 mints
Every night.
Every night. How are you renting an apartment? Like it's almost like I almost like boil over it, right? Like it's not my business, and I know you do whatever you want to do, to each their own, and all that. But I'm like, God, man, you don't own like your whole street, like you.
I was kind of one of those people in my 20s. I think most people are in their 20s.
Yeah, same.
They're making all this money, and they just put it right back into the industry, right back into the scene.
Yeah, it's industry night on Thursday. Like you don't have to go. Like you don't have to get the bottle. Like you can just get a drink at the bar. Like it's okay. Yeah.
I should have started saving and investing in my 20s, but who does? I mean,
So,
some people do.
I did a little bit.
It's more of a thing now.
Yeah, I should have more, but that was one of the. So when I got my taxes done when I was 19, I remember the Army did it on base, right? We went to the base tax center, and the guy was like, he worked at H&R Block part-time, and he goes, hey, you're going to get $2,000 back. He goes, but there's these things called IRAs. And I'm like, okay, right, sure, right? And he's like, if you put $2,000 into this one, currently H&R Block will match your $2,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at this point, too, at 19, $2,000 might have been $7 million to me, right? And I'm like, wait, I'm gonna get 2 more. I didn't understand that like I couldn't take the money, right? Like the money was gonna sit there for a while.
It's yours, but now you owe us.
Correct. And now I'm telling you, for the rest of my life, though, I've never forgot that guy, like because like I would have never thought I would have taken the $2,000 refund. I would have went to whatever local bar we were going to, and I would have had an amazing weekend, and that would have been that. Yeah. But then it was like, hey, now I have an IRA. So then it was like, well, I should be putting a little more into that. Maybe I can't max it. Maybe I don't have this. But at that point, it becomes, why am I not like just a little bit? Yeah. And then you're right. Now I'm 40 years old, and a little bit isn't a little bit anymore. Or that same 2,000 I put in when I was 19. Yeah. Is now 10x that, right? Like it's crazy that the compounding interest in how that works, reinvesting your dividends instead of taking them, right? Where I see people, and especially some people I worked with in healthcare, where they'd buy these dividend-producing stocks and take the check, and I'd be like, oh, I just buy another stock. Like you got 4 more free shares essentially by the dividend from the company you own. Yeah. So it doesn't work for everybody, and again, like to each their own. But I've always been a big proponent of like if you don't need it, right? No medical, no housing, especially when I have kids, right? Like. When you don't have, when you don't have kids, you don't like your money is yours.
Yeah,
yeah. Like you, cool.
We're simple.
Yeah, it's My life is a lot more complicated with kids. I mean, I love them. My
course.
children are amazing. My family's amazing.
Comes with cost.
There's also a level too where I didn't realize this until I had kids. Like I always made decent money for the last probably 10 or 15 years of my life, right? But the quickest way to 3x your income is have a child immediately.
Yeah.
Like you become
All right, ladies, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know, with 4 daughters, right? That's how it works, right?
All right.
So, yeah.
I don't need 4. Just give me
4.
let's just work on 1 first.
Yeah. But it becomes this like, you realize like, shit, everything depends on me.
Yeah.
Like everything. Like there's, and even like I got a baby who I'm like, man, if I don't have enough money for college, she might not go. Shit, she might grow up and be an electrician. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like, whatever. But you have this mentality, and it wasn't like I didn't have that moment where like you see your child and it changes your life. Some people have that stuff. I was more scared that I wasn't prepared for any of it. But like, but the concept of like what I thought was enough is now not even close. Like what I thought was I have a very comfortable salary, and then in my wife too, I can support both of us. We take a nice vacation. We drive.
Is it ever enough?
Cars. Never.
Yeah.
There is
Not for an entrepreneur.
There will never be a.
We accomplish a lot. We reach our goals, and then we have.
And then that goal is gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I spend I remember when I needed land. I needed to buy a piece of land, and then I got it, and it was like, oh, cool, I have land now. Yeah, like, I got to get a building on there, right? Like, or when I had a bus, I was like, man, I got my own party bus.
Yeah.
I'm the only tour company in town that owns a bus.
I'm the man.
Right, I got this, man. This is great. And then I'm like, then the first night I had 2 tours at the same time. I was like, shit, I need another bus. Like, yeah. And then it was like, well, now I need 3 buses. And then when the Sphere started their musical stuff, we're in contract negotiations with it, goes out to an RFP. Obviously, there's like a whole process that you don't just get handed the contract. Yeah. So it goes through the whole process, and I remember being in like the last interview for it, and I'm like, I think we're going to get this. Because everybody else was kind of pitching these traditional shuttles, and they were a little bit cheaper than us. But we're pitching like, hey, you're selling a destination package. You want experience. You don't want a guy to get on a regular, very nice shuttle buses. Some of my competitors have these, they're $300,000. They're high back leather captain's chairs. They're beautiful buses, right? I'm sorry to getting off on buses here, but they're beautiful buses.
Nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Leather
But
seats.
yeah, exactly. I'm trying to
The
sell
lights.
the pole and the lights and the TVs. And I remember leaving there and being like that last meeting, like, shit, we're going to get it. Yeah. And then U2 is going to start at the Sphere, and they've sold thousands of tickets. I don't have enough buses. So then they tell us, like, hey, you're going to be awarded the contract. So it became like there's websites that resell party buses or buses you can convert. And I'm flying guys all over the country being like, just buy it. Just buy it. Like, I don't have any money. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure this out, but just go buy the bus and bring it back here, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then they switched over, like, obviously when you're dealing with a big company, there's accounts payable and you don't get paid. When I deal with a wedding, it's prepaid beforehand. It's a very easy concept. You want your wedding on Saturday, I book it on Friday, you pay me completely on Friday, I show up. Yeah. So these big companies, though, now you're on net 30, net 60, net 90, and you're like, man, I got to really understand cash flow because, hey, I made $100,000 this week. Cool. But I'm not going to see it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and I need to cover the operation because my guys get paid every Friday. Regardless if I get paid, no matter what happens, my guys get paid every Friday or they're not coming back. Yeah. And you also, the weight of that, I'm sure you know as an entrepreneur too, when you have employees and people like, you almost create these like mini economies where you don't realize like whole families are depending on you, not just yours anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yes, my wife and my 4 daughters depend.
Of course.
If I don't get this done, like my children need a home.
Now you have a lot of families relying on it.
Correct. You don't even realize. Then we have like a company Christmas party where everyone brings a family or something like that. And you start looking around and you're like, shit, I can't drop the ball. Yeah. Like I can't miss. Yeah. You know, I can stumble and I can recover.
These people rely on you.
But if I miss, like all these kids in here, you know what I mean? Like it's, and it becomes like this, like it's almost overwhelming sometimes where you're like, man, I got to figure it out. Like there's no
other option.
No. And I think that's where like having the right partner is a mindset too, where he's on the same page as me, where like, hey, you have to execute. You know, not every day is a home run, not every day is a grand slam, but you got to get on base. You know what I mean? You got to get a single. Like if you're not on base, you're not in the game.
Absolutely.
So
now, aside from the nightlife stuff, you have properties.
Yes.
And you have a commercial spot now. Are you really do you focus a lot on the real estate stuff? Like, are you pursuing that?
I see that as my end goal. Not that, I love nightlife. I love party buses. I probably don't go out.
You sound a lot like myself.
But yeah, but at some point.
I'm a host. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think hosting is the best job for it too.
But real estate's my end goal.
Right. That's the end goal. That's where I don't want, when something goes wrong on a party bus or a nightclub tour, it's 1 a.m. and everyone's hammered. Yeah. at some point I don't want to do the 1 a.m. calls where everybody's hammered and I'm trying to weed through what makes sense here. And I'm like, well, you don't have shoes on. Of course they didn't let you in the club. Like, I don't know how to solve that problem. Where are your shoes? Like, you're in a public space and you don't have shoes anymore. Like, I can't help you, man. Like, it's not
Drunk and
yeah. Or you have a fake ID and the club immediately called it out. Like, but I can't help you. Like, I don't even think magic I'm going to work here. Like, people don't realize.
But you promised.
Yeah, right. Like, they come to these venues. They come once a year.
Yeah.
I work with these venues every week.
Yeah.
So the concept that I'm going to mess up a relationship here because you can't find your shoes, pal, you are on the wrong page. But no, I think real estate's the end. And I think it's also something nobody can ever take away.
And you could always, I mean, obviously you're going to keep this and expand on it,
100%.
but you just hire people to take over.
And the bus company's kind of become like that. The charter flight guy we hired he's a rock star, man. I would hire him at any business I had, any day, anytime. He's a rock star.
Nice.
But the real estate too becomes, and not that I ever think they would, and please don't, Tao, but Tao could end me tomorrow.
Yeah.
They won't. I hope not. You know what I mean? There's good relationships. But if Tao tomorrow told me, hey, we're not doing tours anymore, everybody has to either go through our guest list or they have to buy a ticket to us.
Right. You've got to have a backup plan.
That's it. Like, that's the tours are over. There's a couple non-Tao venues I could go to too, but no one's open like Tao. Right. No one's got a Tuesday night club. No one's got a Wednesday night club.
So are you, because of situations like that, are you like consistently focused on building more relationships, like finding more opportunities?
Always. Yep. It's always, like I said, the nightlife job is a fun job, and I like it. And like I said, I'm good at it. And the party bus is cool. But the party buses had to go out of, they couldn't just run tours. Yeah. They got to have the airport shuttle contract, which is boring, right? Airport shuttles are boring. Yeah. I don't want to say weddings are boring, but weddings are boring, right? Quinceañeras. Every 17, 16-year-old girls in the back of the bus is like, okay, we're playing Taylor Swift. No offense, Taylor Swift. But, we're blasting Taylor Swift or K-pop or something, right? Like, you got to get into that kind of diversification. And then it was like, hey, when we had a bunch of cash at the end of the year, it was like, hey, we can either buy our own spot and have a building that we will have forever. It's something no one can ever take away from you unless you don't pay for it, right? Like, it's my building. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I have a building, and now I can't get evicted. I can't have a landlord. I can't have. It's mine.
A great setup.
Yeah. And then the diesel shop turns into, like, there will always be diesel trucks that break. It's a super boring job. Like, it's grimy, it's dirty. My brother actually runs it. He went to school for it. He's a whiz with he could take your engine apart and put it back together by memory, right? Yeah. But it'll always be there. It's the amount of trucks we get through there that are, energy trucks, lumber trucks, document trucks, things you never even thought of, right? Those businesses are the ones that will outlast everything. Those are the ones that'll be constants for everything.
Do you ever plan on going into another city, building out another city?
So I've been asked that a ton, actually, a ton. And one of my biggest competitors here did that in Miami, and they're doing very well in Miami, and they've kind of fallen off here. And I think that's because the owners moved to Miami too, and he's a good dude. But
competitor?
Yeah, one of my competitors, yeah.
Buy them out.
Yeah, right by him. I would. I said, let me buy the Vegas one. Maybe someday, if I found the right nightlife person to go set it up, yes. But I knew what it took to set up Turntup Tours. I knew the relationships, and then also too, like, people come and go from the nightclub. So you might be the VP today, and my relationship with you is amazing. Right. But tomorrow you went to Austin, Texas, and now I better be friends with this guy too. Yeah. So I've looked at it, and the kind of roundabout answer is not now. Because I don't want to go set it up, to be frank.
It's a lot of work.
Right.
You probably have to move the family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? To go set up the operation set up here in like a Nashville.
Send your partner.
Yeah, we go. Yeah, hey, bro. We're going to Nashville. We're doing this. I'm majority, so you're going.
Do you think it would work in LA? I don't know.
The problem with LA is
I don't think so.
They don't.
It's too spread out.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. I can tell you right now, I can get pretty much from any club to any club in about 30 minutes, unless there is the Bruno Mars parade today screwed up my pool tours. You know what I mean? Because they close streets. But when you get to LA, you're downtown to Hollywood. That might be a 2.5-hour thing on a bad night.
It just wouldn't work. Even if you were on Sunset Strip.
Nope. The ones that run in LA that do okay are walking tours.
Yeah, but the clubs close at 1:30.
Same thing. Also, too, LA clubs are built for the table customer. Yeah. So you walk into like a Warwick, there's no dance floor in Warwick. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have a table or you're awkwardly standing between someone else's table.
Yeah, the LA nightlife is not there.
Correct. Where if you look at filling Hakkasan is thousands of people, right? Like, so they don't get me wrong, great table clientele, but they need my GA.
And there's a ton of traffic, ton of locations, all around the Strip.
And hey, tonight is not the night at Marquee because we have X person who sold out this and it's great. Okay, cool, not Marquee, but where can I go?
Yeah.
And the management group at Tao has always been amazing about being like, hey, Marquis off tonight because of this, but hey, shoot him over to Omnia.
Vegas is definitely the spot to be.
100%.
And you've taken over the market.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal.
Yeah.
But I think going back to real estate, I think that's where it ends. I have a couple single family homes, 3 right now, and that was kind of my first toe in the water with it.
Yeah.
So I rent all my employees, right? that also helps too, right? Is my employees are all my tenants. So yeah, you can come work for me, and I can provide a house, and I can ensure you're going to make the rent every month because I know how many hours you're getting, right?
Kind of feeds itself.
Everything is one big circle.
Interesting.
But I'd like to get into some multifamily stuff.
Yeah.
Because the single family stuff is always like, hey, if that guy moves, the concept too that I'm not saying I'm the busiest guy in the world, but I don't have time to go have an open house.
Yeah.
Where I have 50 people tour and look around and decide if they want to rent it and sip through applications. Like I don't have the bandwidth for that.
Did you start using with the VA loan? Did you use the VA loan?
So my personal house, yes.
Yeah.
Which I think that alone for anybody who is younger in life and thinking maybe the military's for me, maybe it's not or something. And I didn't grow up in a patriotic family. My great-grandfather in World War II.
The benefit of that alone.
The benefit of that alone. If you can go use a VA loan, the idea that I bought, a house I couldn't afford with no PMI and no private mortgage insurance, right? And $500 down.
Yeah.
I literally walked into a house. It was $1 million on the sticker. The 20% of that would have been $200,000 down.
Yeah.
At the time in my life, that was not even a real thing. $500 earnest deposit, and I rolled right in with a competitive interest rate. Yeah. It was a good time. But I tell anybody that, especially like my friends who have kids who are getting to that age, where I'm like, hey, listen, if college isn't for you, college wasn't for me at first. I went later when the military started with the tuition reimbursements and the GI Bill. That's great. But I tell people like, hey, if you're on the fence, the VA loan alone is a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Game changer.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, guys, if you get any value out of this video, this podcast, join the military.
Join the military. Yeah.
If there's anything you get out of it.
Yeah. Dude, get the VA loan.
Yeah. I bought a couple houses using the VA loan.
They're smart.
They paid for my schooling.
Yep.
No, I'm debt free.
Same thing. Debt free with school. Yep. The same thing.
That's great.
And then on my first house, so I moved to Arizona and I take this job. I'm working for a private prison contractor, which is an absolutely terrible job. California basically pays these private companies to house inmates out of state.
Yeah.
So I'm working in Arizona, and I'm living at a campground. It's $12 a day. It's a room no bigger than this, and there's 3 bunks in there. The showers are across like a driveway, and they're quarter operated. It's absolutely terrible. And I'm there for like a month in this like Picacho Peak campground, it was called. All my stuff's in my car. I'm doing the quarter operated showers going to work, right? And I'm just waiting for my loan to close because I'm like, I'm going to buy a house. Yeah. So I remember going from like literally living at a campground out of my car to like a 4-bedroom house in Arizona. Yeah. I still don't have anything. Like we're sleeping on the floor on sleeping bags, reading by candlelight, like it's 1730, right? But because I had the VA loan, I literally just walked into a house. It was almost like a foreign concept to me. You know
Do you manage them yourself?
Yes, the current 3 I do. It's pretty easy when all the tenants work for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is currently, yes. That will change, though, when I think I start getting outside of tenant rentals.
I don't know what system you're using. I use a website called TurboTenant, a company called TurboTenant.
Yeah.
Sponsor this podcast.
TurboTenant, right here. Yeah. If I sign up. TurboTenant, yeah.
But it's an amazing landlord company like platform.
Nice. I'll check that out. Yeah. Yeah. It's the rental thing. I just kind of like. I don't want to say fell into, but
it does everything. It does the background checks, the screenings. It does the lease agreements,
checks, all that stuff. Yeah.
Everything.
Nice.
Yeah. It sends out reminders for payments and stuff like that.
TurboTenant. I'll have to. Yeah. I'll check. It's
a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that will become like especially moving into like a multifamily type deal where at some point I would like to essentially just sell the singles and put it all into one big multi.
I've got some houses in Texas where I just rent out the rooms individually to like military.
Yep.
Well, the Air Force bases are out there and stuff. And
I knew a guy who did that here with pilots.
Yeah.
Because the pilots would be in and out, or they basically hot sheet a bed.
Yeah, I'm considering buying some by Nellis.
Okay.
Air Force Base, because that would be the same thing. These guys want to be off base, and that they're okay renting a room.
Yep.
And you make a lot more money that way. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I should look into that. Yeah.
But then I've got some Airbnbs too.
Yeah. So I think that will probably be before the multifamily. I need to do an Airbnb because with my tax situation, all that becomes passive losses that I can't carry over because I'm not they don't consider long-term rentals active losses, right? So I end up with this like accruing all this stuff that I could write off that I can't currently write off.
Speaking of write-offs, I got to do my taxes later on today.
Still on extension over here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. But yeah, I think Airbnb is it's actually a good idea. Maybe we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I got you.
To find Airbnb.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Is it hard to do it here in Vegas?
There's ways.
There's ways, yeah. Because I know that it's not as clean cut as other cities.
Yeah, a lot of gray areas.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know, if people want to stay in an Airbnb, let them stay in an Airbnb. If they don't want to go to a hotel and spend hundreds of dollars on a cheap hotel.
Yeah. I remember when I worked for Sony, I would work out of San Francisco Bay Area like 2 days a week. And this is going back like 15 years or so. So Uber is brand new.
Yeah.
And I remember getting introduced to Uber when Uber was only in San Francisco and LA, and I thought it was like amazing, right? Like first the guy's telling me about it, I don't believe him. I'm like, what do you mean? Some guy's gonna pick me up in his car when I click on this? Like I thought it was all BS, right? Yeah. It all worked and I thought it was amazing. And I remember coming to Vegas, they didn't have Uber. And I was like, this is bullshit. Like this is behind the times. But then I realized like some of these trade organizations and associations are very powerful.
Yeah. It's a money thing, always, right? Like
always.
obviously,
Taxi cabs.
That's why they want you to go to the hotels, so that way they can keep all that tax money and stuff.
We'll run into some of that too with Uber too, and even the autonomous vehicles now going to Resorts World is where we used to pick up, which was very convenient for the buses, for your black car services. AWG's a big one in town. Bell, they're technically competitors of mine, but they have fleets of very nice Escalades. They run solid operations. I'll never badmouth them at all. They run a playbook that I'm hoping to graduate to. They're 20 years older than me, but they're relocating us because if you've ever taken an Uber at McCarran or Harry Reid now at the Vegas airport, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
You have to walk across the parking garage. You're all standing on like the second floor. Now there's people there trying to put you in like these lines. I always tell people whenever they ask me how do you do it, I say, go to a traditional taxi. Yeah. An old school taxi is $21 flat fee to the strip, and they're literally waiting for you. You just walk out and you get in one. Yeah. I know it sounds like, my dad or my grandfather's advice, but just get an old school taxi. Yeah. The Uber is a nightmare. Yeah. But with the way they're relocating it, which will be live, I think it's like early next year, that pushes us pretty far out the way. So for anybody who's depending on, we call them Kellys or walk-up rides, which we don't have a lot of that. Our stuff's already usually contracted and pre-booked. But it's going to put them out the way. Like, no one's going to go to them, you know what I mean? Because the Uber's in front of you now instead of having to walk up all this and getting, I can just get in this black car. And when you look at it, it's really not that expensive, right? When you get, like I said, the taxi's $21, a black car is $75 to the strip. When I get off a plane, I just want to go. I don't want to mess around the airport. I don't want to look for this. I don't want this. I just got off the flight. Wherever I'm going, I just want to get to my destination.
Yep.
So we'll see, though.
Tired from
progress.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Did you ever have a mentor? Well, you said you weren't much of an entrepreneur growing up, but you kind of fell into that.
Yeah.
So you invested into this company, and obviously you had to learn the business before taking over the business.
Yep. So my buddy Mike, who started it, he's been an entrepreneur for. He's always had some business. I don't think he's had a job for someone in probably 15 or 20 years.
What about a mentor for real estate? How did you learn all of that?
So that would probably be my dad.
Yeah.
So my dad was a blue collar factory manufacturing plant worker, never was like a really high earner, right? But he would time, and he started buying in Florida when the crash happened, and he bought some duplexes for what a car costs. And he was able to retire at like 50.
Nice.
And he lives very simple. He lives within his means. Their big trip is out here to see grandkids, of course, and stuff. They're not gallivanting around Greece every summer. But to watch like his comfort level of just collecting his tenant income, I think that's what kind of turned me on to it was,
Same.
That I just watched him do it. And it was like,
I just want
there's
that for real.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's behind the scenes stuff you don't realize. You never realize, like, I find out years later that, my parents had a tenant who didn't pay for 7 months and the eviction laws were terrible and they almost lost the house and all this. You don't see that when you're a kid, right? Yeah. There is stress behind it. But watching him be like 50 years old, like, hey, I'm just not going to work anymore. And I was like, damn, man, like, you're just done? Like, that's how that works? He's like, I got the rental income. Everything's going pretty well. He self-manages. If something breaks, he goes and fixes it. They're all pretty close, so... Yeah. I don't know. Is that your parents too, or your father too?
Not my parents, but I'm changing the ways of things.
Fair,
I'm gonna be that guy, that first guy to change the legacy.
Yeah, they have to be. Somebody has to be.
Someone has to.
There's nothing better than like when you start flying your parents out to you, right? When I remember my dad. I first started the tour thing and the party bus thing. My dad's kind of old school. Like I said, he's had worked in a factory his whole life. He didn't understand it, right? Also, too, we don't have clubs. He doesn't. Telling him that somebody would get a $10,000 min at a table, and he's like, "Well, what do they get?" And I'm like, "Well, they get bottles." He's like, what? Like,
bottles?
Yeah, hold on. Like the same ones I can buy at the store. I'm like, kind of, but it's the atmosphere, it's the show, it's the fun, like it's vacation.
$40 bottle for $700.
Get two. So I remember telling him, and he just didn't get it. Like, and he just had this kind of like uneasiness. But then, like when life starts changing, and it's like, hey, why don't you come out and of course get first class? Like, of course not. Yeah, like why don't you come out here? We're all going to dinner. I'll send a car to pick everybody up. You know what I mean? Like it's get the private room at the steakhouse. You know what I mean? There's 6 in my family plus my parents. Now my brother running the shop over here, right? So now there's 9 of us going out to dinner. It's like get the room in the back, and it kind of changes the mindset when you're like, okay, like there's like a passed torch almost, right? Where like we never experienced anything like that growing up, and now it's like, Pop, stop looking at the prices, just get what you want. Like, you know, and it's a good feeling too, where it's like, hey, it makes all that worth it. It makes the 1 a.m. hammered, I can't find my shoes call worth picking up the phone for.
Yeah. Now, I know you've got contracts with all of the venues, but do you work with hosts, collaborate with hosts in any way?
We do, yes. Mostly on, let's say, the transportation side. So you have clients coming into town. They have, they're staying at, they're staying at MGM Grand. They have their tables at Cosmo, at MGM, or excuse me, at a Marquee. Sorry, I'm saying MGM. But you're staying at Marquee. How are you going to get your clients there to there, right? A lot of hosts will book through us. Obviously, we have commission structures for all them, our independents. So we pay them out on all that, but they send us their rides for that. When it comes to tables, obviously we have gaming and stuff, so we have all our own microsites and stuff. Yeah. I'll say our table sales are not like massive. But we do a lot of add-ons. So someone does a tour, and they say at the last venue I want a table, and it's usually like a party of 2 or a party of 4. So they're not. Yeah. They're not $10,000-$20,000 bins.
Now that I'm familiar with how you do things, I'll send you some business.
Absolutely, we'd love that. We'd be happy to send it back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We end up too with a lot of hosts who, once they've left the industry, a host phone is very valuable. Yeah, a host cell phone is very valuable, especially someone who's been in the game for a minute.
That's true.
So we end up with a lot of guys who have moved on to other careers who still get table bookings. Yeah. So they'll send them and book through our site, and obviously. We do usually like a 70-30 split with them. Nice. So 70 their way,
there's incentives.
100%, yeah. Because you figure, too, you work at, some of these guys worked at Wet Republic for 10 years, and then they left, right? They still have people who call them. They still have bookings. Yeah. So, of course, why wouldn't they monetize? I mean, they spent years building that relationship. It shouldn't be free. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. What is your website?
So, TurntupLV.com. That's the tours, TurntupLV.com, TurntupLV.com. Yeah. The bus company is DiscreetLV.com.
Discreet.
Okay,
yeah. Cool. I like it. Yeah. And then social media platforms, your social media sites?
So at Turntup LV and at Discreet Party Bus are our 2 main ones.
Cool. Do you want to give yours out?
That's it. Mine's Jonny Wispas. JONNYWISPAS.
Jonny Wispas, guys.
I'm telling you. Everything's a secret. We're
Italian?
Except here. I'm a mix of everything, man.
Same. I was raised Italian, mostly Italian, but I did my DNA test, and now I don't know what to tell people. I'm a little bit of everything.
I'm scared of it. I see people do it, and then like the company goes bankrupt, and they're like, hey, where'd my DNA go? And I'm like, it scares me, man. You're braver than me.
Do you have anything to tell the audience for those that are listening and watching, and any bit of advice if they're thinking about coming to Vegas and getting into nightlife or anything like that? Well,
if you're coming to Vegas, definitely call me. We'll set up whatever, or call here. He'll set up whatever. But no, I think Vegas is not for everyone on the surface, but I think once you get into Vegas, it is. Like I said, I've never been a gambler. Never. I mean,
same.
If we have a dinner meeting and I'm 30 minutes early, you know what I mean? I might go sit at a slot machine for a minute or sit at a blackjack table. Yep. But I think once you get out of like the surface of Vegas, there's so much more stuff, right? Sure. There's so many more places.
There's a lot of different lifestyles here.
100%.
You don't have to be
100%
a degenerate.
No, yeah, you don't. You can be if you want. We do got slot machines in the grocery store, but you don't have to play them. You can do your whole grocery shopping without playing a slot machine. I know it's a foreign concept to some people, but you don't have to. But no, I also think too, like
Vegas isn't a real place.
No, but also too, if you're starting a business, no matter kind of where you are, like you never know when you're one step away, right? Like there's been times where, you know, we've had incidents like when we first started, or I'm not saying incidents, but we've had hurdles when we first started, where I was like, why are we even doing this, right? Like we're making no money.
Yeah.
Like I'm investing all my time into this. Like, why am I doing this? I could go work a 9 to 5 and be fine.
Yeah.
And then like one day it just kind of happens. You know, you're not a millionaire overnight, right? But one day like the course changes where you're like, I have enough to hire a guy to do that part that I hate.
Yeah.
I hate.
Yeah.
So cool. I don't have to do it anymore.
Right.
Cool. I can do this. And then don't take the money. If you don't need the money, don't take it. You know what I mean? People take these payouts, or if you're selling the business school, that's a whole different story, right? But like, if you're netting $200 a week out of it, you don't need that $200. You're surviving without it.
Yeah.
Put that 200 away, right? At the end of the year, that 200 is what, 10 grand. Now you can do something with that, right? Now you can really maneuver that.
Right.
But I think this is probably anti-Vegas in some way, but delayed gratification. Like
For sure.
next year,
It's always about the long game.
100%.
Well, not always, but
Yeah, but a lot of it, you know what I mean? It's not capital gains taxes too. It favors the holder. You know what I mean? Everything favors the holder. If you're going to reinvest in something and not take that big payout, I think that's where people stumble.
Speaking of the long game, is there some sort of evolution? Do you see the future of this business?
I do. So one, like I said, I got 2 more competitors to buy. Not to just sound cocky about it, but and then I have them all. And then at that point, I think I standardize the pricing, I standardize the programs. There's no more variability. Also, too, I think it gives me, I don't want to say leverage, right? But at some point, it does, yeah. So at some point, I want to own every piece of the business, right? So it became, I needed the real estate to hold the buses. I needed the buses to provide the tours. Out of the 2 competitors I'm talking about, one of them rents all their buses and gets all their supplies from me. So basically contracts their whole business out to me. I just want to take that
You got the
last
tenants
step.
in your real estate.
Tenants in there, right, where everything kind of meshes together. But I think the evolution is I need to own a nightclub at some point. I don't need to own Omnia, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to own the hottest, coolest. I don't need Omnia Day Club, right? But like there's some venue at let's call them a B casino that is not being managed properly.
Yeah.
And if I can start a tour there and start your night off with 200 people in a smaller venue, I think that's the key, is own the whole circle.
Yeah. Now, how's it having your employees living in your buildings? Like, what if something happens?
Yeah.
Say something bad happened at work and you have to let go of them.
So I mean, I guess that's
that-
that's the other side of the sword, right?
Yeah.
Is that there are 3 drivers who work for me on the bus side that they're probably always guaranteed hours first. Because they live in my places, and all of them are good. They've been with me a long time too. This is not like I met you yesterday and now cool, you move in.
Some random kids.
But you're right. When I say like this kicked off cash to build this and kicked off that, right? It's all intertwined, right? So a hiccup in that. We saw a downturn in nightlife last year, right? My tour sales were down about 30%. Luckily, the Sphere and some concert venues that we have, other concert venues we have contracts with, they went up about 30%. So I was able to diversify and kind of cover the nut. But we saw, I mean, coming out of COVID, we had months that COVID, the tour company was doing more in a month than it done the year before, right? It was absurd. But I don't think that was a flash in the pan, a blip. I don't think that's coming back like that.
Yeah, I like what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
It's all
man.
coming together.
I'm trying.
You're not trying, you're doing.
I appreciate that. I'm doing. But see, that's my mindset. Like I'm always just trying, and like,
That's
no,
all of
you're
us.
making it. Like
That's
it's
all of us,
winning, and I'm like,
I talk about that all the time. Like I've already accomplished so many of my goals, but then as soon as you do, you're moving on to the next
and
one.
they're not even a goal anymore, right? It's just like, oh, it's in the rear view. As soon as you hit it, like
We got to stay grateful.
30 seconds of like, yes, and then.
Exactly. Stay grateful, but never settle.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And once
Unless you
dude,
find a good woman, you settle with her.
same. Oh, my wife's great. Yeah, it's that. I mean, like I said, there's also that piece, the kids, the wife, that like you immediately figure out how to make more money. Like I mean, it's something almost ingrained in you.
I have to take you up on that.
telling you.
I'm already 38 right now.
You're there. You're ready.
I'm there. Hey,
You're ready.
But Vegas is not really the place.
Bro, we
for
got a
it.
house in Henderson for you right next door. Yeah. You don't even have to have a kid yet. You babysit one of mine. I got a gang of them. Come over, fly the kite.
Get some
Man.
practice
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
I'm the funkle to my brother and his family.
My brother's 38, no kids too, so he's the same. He comes over, plays with them all, and then about 9 o'clock, he's like,
right, I'm out.
I'm gonna go down to Delilah and have dinner. And I'm like, oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go get everybody a bath. Like, yeah.
That's funny.
But no, it's cool, man. It's it definitely everything leads to something else. Like it's just a build. It's just a constant set of Legos.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, Jonny Wispas, thank you for being on the show.
Of course, man.
It-
Come back anytime. This is great.
Come back
man.
anytime.
This is lovely.
It has been great for all of you listening and watching. Please hit that follow button, subscribe, do what you got to do, follow him, and stay tuned for the next episode.